What's up, everybody? Eskam, Cali Pump here, and today I'm going to talk about the difference in between pre-workout and energy drinks. Now, most people nowadays know what an energy drink is, but not many people know what pre-workout is. And a lot of people take energy drinks, but they're scared to take pre-workout, and they think that pre-workout is some big scary thing and it's got all this crazy stuff in it. But I'm here to tell you that the difference in between energy drinks and pre-workout is very, very, very small. And in fact, there is pretty much no difference in between them at all. And a lot of people are going to get upset by me saying this, but in my opinion, what it all boils down to is one ingredient. And what that ingredient is caffeine. Now, you could take the most expensive pre-workout off the shelf, a $50, $60 pre-workout, and if you take the caffeine out of it and you take it, it's essentially going to be useless. It's not going to do anything. It's not going to give you any energy. It's not going to get you motivated for the gym. Nothing. And a lot of big pre-workout companies make tons of money by telling you that they have the best pre-workout, and all they do is just put more caffeine in it, and you think it's so great, but really it all boils down to caffeine. And a lot of people are going to get upset and they're going to say, oh, well, you know, it's got nitric oxide in it, it's got this in it, it's got that in it, it's got all this stuff that gives you a really good pump. You know, pre-workout is about getting a good pump. But in my opinion, 90% of the reason whether you're getting a good pump or not in the gym is because of your diet. Now, if you talk to someone who's a serious, experienced lifter and you say, oh, what do you do to get a great pump? They're not going to say, oh, I take this pre-workout, I take that pre-workout. That's what, you know, beginners in the gym will say is, oh, I got a good pump today because I took C4. But that's not the case. Whether or not you're getting a good pump or not is whether or not you're eating the right food, whether or not you're eating enough. And if you're not getting a good pump in the gym, you're probably under eating and you're not eating enough. And no powder is going to fix that. There's no powder that you can take 30 minutes before your workout that's going to make you get a good pump when you haven't been eating all day. A pre-workout may help out 10%. It may enhance your pump 10%, but 90% of the reason you're getting a good pump or not is whether or not you've been eating enough that day. And caffeine is a great thing. I would say, in my opinion, caffeine is my favorite supplement. And the reason caffeine is my favorite supplement is because, you know, creatine, protein powder, all that stuff's not important. You know, there's two things that are important to me when I'm trying to get big. And one is caffeine and two is my diet. Whether or not I'm getting good lifts, whether or not I'm getting bigger, whether or not I'm growing is mostly dependent on my diet. And if my diet's not in check, I'm not going to grow. And now the other side of getting big is you have your diet and then you have your training. Now, no other supplement is going to enhance your training like caffeine. Creatine is not going to enhance your training like caffeine. Nothing else is going to get you motivated to go to the gym and motivated to kill your workout like caffeine. Maybe Adderall, maybe some sort of nootropic, maybe ephedrine or ephedra, but you know, there's very few things out there that are actually going to motivate you and get you to go to the gym and kill it and have a great workout. And all it really boils down to when you're trying to get big is, are you eating enough and are you training hard enough? Okay, there's no supplement that's going to make you eat more good food and get big. You know, protein powders and stuff are good, but I think a lot of people nowadays know that it's all about real food, and you know, you need to be eating enough if you want to get big, and you need to be training very intensely. And the only thing that's going to help you train it intensely is some sort of stimulant like caffeine. And in my opinion, caffeine is an amazing supplement. It's my favorite supplement. There's times when I don't take anything but caffeine. I just take a pre-workout and then I just eat food. I don't take protein powders, creatine, nothing like that. And the most important thing with caffeine and the most important thing in bodybuilding in general is your sensitivity to it. Now, when it comes to caffeine, the most important thing about caffeine is your sensitivity to caffeine. And what I mean by that is a lot of people take a scoop of pre-workout, they think it's the greatest thing in the world. they take it for a month, and then all of a sudden they take 2 scoops of pre-workout, 3 scoops of pre-workout, and then they get to the point where it's not doing anything, it's just giving them anxiety, it's making them feel anxious, and it's not motivating them to go to the gym anymore and have a good workout. And the reason that is because they're acquiring such a high tolerance to caffeine that it's not working anymore. And you know, this happens. Okay, so picking up where I left off, the most important thing about caffeine is your tolerance to it. Now, this is the same with everything in bodybuilding. The most important thing about carbs is your sensitivity to carbs. The most important thing about steroids is your sensitivity to steroids. The most important thing about, you know, lifting heavy versus it's all about staying sensitive to things so that they work. If you overdo things, if you overdo caffeine, it's not going to work anymore. If you eat a bunch of shit, you have to stay sensitive to things for them to work. And in the past, I would take a scoop of pre-workout for a week. A month, I would take 2, I'd take 3, and then I'd be up to taking 3 scoops of pre-workout, drinking a Monster, and I'd be so have such a high tolerance to caffeine, I wasn't getting anything out of it anymore. And what I would do at that point is I would say, oh shit, I took too much caffeine, I'm going to stop cold turkey. So I would take caffeine for 6 months, I'd slowly work my way up to where I took more and more and more, and then I would quit taking it. And then I'd have shitty workouts for 2 months, I'd feel horrible, and 2 months later I would start the whole cycle over again. Now, what I've learned to do over the years is instead of quitting cold turkey, what I'll do is I'll take 200, 300, 400 milligrams of caffeine a day, and when I get to the point where I feel like it's not effective anymore and it's ruined, I'm not getting good workouts and I'm not getting anything from it, what I'll do is instead of quitting cold turkey, I will cut my overall caffeine intake to about 100 milligrams a day. And I feel like cutting my caffeine intake down to 100 milligrams a day, it allows my adrenal glands to recover, and it allows me to resensitize my body to caffeine and recover. And I don't feel like you have to cut it out completely. I feel like you could take 100 milligrams of caffeine every day for the rest of your life and not have any problems. But if you want to have a ridiculous, crazy, intense workout, sometimes you're going to end up taking 200-300 milligrams a day. And that's not bad. You can do that for a month, maybe 2 months, but eventually you're going to have to cut it back again and resensitize your body to caffeine. And in my opinion, cutting it back down to about 100 milligrams is going to allow your body to recover. It's going to resense your body to caffeine. So if you want to have an intense workout, I would suggest drinking an energy drink before your workout, taking some sort of pre-workout, because it's really going to push you to the next level. It's going to allow you to work out 10 times harder. I don't even get how people work out without caffeine, to be honest. I've been taking pre-workout and energy drinks since I was in 8th grade. I'm 22 now. So I don't even, to be honest, really even know what it's like to work out without caffeine. I mean, just kidding. I've worked out without caffeine before. But what I'm saying is it's really going to help your workouts. It's definitely a powerful substance that is to be respected, not to be abused. You should respect caffeine, and you should take it with the right approach and treat it with the respect that it deserves, so that you can get the most out of it long term, and that you can get the most out of your fitness goals long term. And the way you do that is by monitoring your sensitivity to caffeine and being responsible with your intake of caffeine. And that's going to allow you to really get the most out of it and get the most out of your workouts. So until next time.